the temperature it was earlier when I woke up. I woke up sweating this morning. It's literally so hot. I think it's a high of 85 and it feels like 87. And I got a new fragrance that came in today. So I cracked it open, put it on, and I really like this one from Michael Malone. It's a wonderful release. And I am talking about Esquire, Michael Malone, Modern Poet. This one is quite interesting. You get this like nice gin, some citrus, lemon, grapefruits, and you got citron, olibanum. It's quite green. It's got some green matcha, some woods, moss, patchouli. What I find really interesting here is the sandalwood. It's not creamy, it's very woodsy. Then you got some fir balsam and amber, and I can actually still faintly pick up the dry down. Hey, what's up, Kicks? Thank you for dropping in. Son of the day, Lorenzo Pizzaglia, Sexay. Yeah, I saw that. Latafa Kamra Waha, whatever it's called. I thought about it, but then I decided to pass on it because I own a few fragrances that have cucumber water in it, and I kind of don't want to have any redundancy. But I think it looks pretty unique. Um, Maybe for once they decided not to do any dupes this time. Maybe it's actual decent fragrance for once for a change. Hopefully, but without further ado, this is what I got that came in today. I'm flip the camera. So I got this in today. It's actually pretty good. I am enjoying this. This is pretty good. I'm getting about 7 hours on skin. And here's the funny thing, the yellow jackets are out, bees, and I actually got like chased by a bee. For some reason, they're attracted to sweet gourmands, citrus, certain florals, and musk. Musk actually causes bees to attack. So I thought that was funny. I never got chased by a bee before. Nah, Imma be honest, man, New World, so ancient is it? New Alrighty, whatever he wanted, he got a timeout. This is pretty good. Modern Poet by Michael Malone and Esquire. When I put my nose on this one, I was not expecting a beautiful matcha tea note or even some gin in the opening. The gin's really nice here, kind of actually pleasant. And so I looked it up, read about it, and it's actually really nice. And it's great for spring and summertime, especially when it's like hot and muggy, like it is by me today. I went and gave this, a first impressions, put it on, and I'm impressed. I'm picking up the dry down currently. So it's been about 7 hours exactly. So I'm happy to add this one to my wardrobe back there. It's my second Michael Malone cologne. There's a couple other ones I definitely want to check out. I want to get that ginger mist, zest and vetiver, and the cartoonist. That looks pretty good. You know, some say it's hit and miss with Michael Malone. Other people say he's a decent niche brand, does wonderful stuff. He has wonderful fragrances. So this is the second one I own, and I'm not disappointed here. So this is another winner. And I'm probably going to give this another full wear. It's probably going to be my scent of the day tomorrow because I am really enjoying what this one smells like and what it has to offer. So perfect timing. And I like getting scent mail. And who doesn't like getting scent mail in the mail? I got lucky when I bought this fragrance. Um, I got it from another seller that I personally know on eBay. Imagine that. That doesn't happen very often. And I paid about $70 for it. And I was surprised they even got it for $70. Sometimes you could think, oh, $70 off eBay is probably fake. Sadly, that's not the case here. So I lucked out. I got a sweet deal. And the only other fragrance I'm waiting on after Zaharoff's pre-sale is over with is Ross's Remix fragrance, Pleasure Over Business. So I can't wait for that one to come in and see what that one is all about. And I got a couple samples here to check out too. Speaking of that, I believe Kara, shout out to Kara Sparks. She told me Coco Loco by Zaharoff is a phenomenal fragrance for the summer. So I have the sample here and I'm going to check it out and see what this one has to offer. And I don't know the notes, but I know there's coconut and I think red clementine in this one, maybe some other fruit, floral, woods. So let's see what this one is all about. And I believe my buddy Grim G has got this one, said it's pretty good. So okay, it's a little different. I think there's some pineapple in here, maybe. Get a couple more sprays. Let that marinate some. Hmm, that's unique. In the opening, you definitely do pick up that juicy red clementine. This is nice. Definitely citrus up in here. Definitely on skin. Kinda has, like, this cooling effect on my skin, which is a good thing because it's actually kinda lightweight hot in my basement where I do my content, and this is good. Um, I would say kinda powdery, not really, slightly. This is pretty good. Right now, I'm kinda getting that coconut flesh, like the fleshy part of a coconut. This is pretty good. So, yeah, um, this one isn't wowing me or blowing my mind away, but, for a coconut fragrance with some citrus and juicy red clementine, it's kinda slightly powdery. I would take this one over Coconut Lagoon, but this is pretty good. Not bad. Imma let that one develop more and see how it really opens up. But so far, the opening is really, really good. I'm liking that one. And I forgot, I have the other two samples here from Gallagher. The other one here, we have Sunscape and Pineapple. And I believe Pineapple is his tropical fragrance. So I thought, why not? What the heck? Finish these other two samples and get them out of the way because I have more other s- other stuff coming in from Gallagher pretty soon. They have a newer release another one that's not even out yet, and I was lucky to get a free sample. And I think they're sending me 5 more for free to check out. And I forget the newer release, what it's called, but I know it's going to launch at the end of May this year. And it's for the Pearlescent line, which is an extrait de parfum. And I'm looking forward to that one. Now, I did hear a little bit from David's wife, Mindy, and she said it may open up in slightly lean feminine, but however, if you can spray a fragrance, you can definitely wear it. I tend to look at fragrance different. I find fragrance to be genderless. I don't think it really matters anymore. So I can't wait to have that one to come in, see what it's about. Um, Other than that, let's get right to it. Here we got, let's see, fine apple. And I hear the pineapple here is really, really good. So I'm curious to see what this one has to offer because I am looking for another Gallagher fragrance. They're becoming like my all-time favorite niche brand. I really like how Amongst Waves performs for me. That one actually has solid performance for a freshie. I was actually surprised. I was getting around 8 hours on skin, which doesn't always happen. So let's get right to it. Check out Pineapple. Get a couple of sprays here. Yeah. Whoo, wow. Yeah. Now that's what I call a tropical fragrance. Boy, shout out to Daniel, man. You know what the heck you're doing when it comes to pineapple. Talk about going to what? Your nearest Costco or BJ's or Mark's grocery store and you get some fresh pineapple, bring it home and chop that bad boy open. That is exactly what I'm getting here. Man, is that really good. Wow. And then you got green apple that's coming in behind it. Not overly sweet, but like a fresh bite of green apple. And I'm getting some magnolia, a little bit of jasmine in the background. Not really strong. This is really good. This is unique. It's different for a tropical fragrance. I like this one a lot. But man, right in the opening, it just hits you with this beautiful, well done pineapple note. He did a good job with this one. This is good. This is definitely worth having in your summer rotation. And one thing I like about Gallagher fragrance, even though they're only 50 milliliter bottles, their prices aren't that super expensive. But this is good. Well done. Well done, Daniel. Well done. Shout out to you, buddy. I'm gonna have to email him later tonight and let him know what I think about pineapple. So I always keep in touch with Daniel and Mindy from Gallagher Fragrance. I go back and forth and we have some really nice conversations, and I'm impressed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add this one to my wardrobe. This is really good. Definitely worth for summer. I'd say summer day, summer evening, kind of feels playful, you know, something you could throw on when you're going to like a, summer barbecue, dinner, a party. It's got that like uplifting, up atmosphere kind of, almost like a clubbing kind of fragrance. I don't find it too heavy. It's just perfect. It's definitely great for the summertime. There's no doubt about this one. And I don't think you're going to find any cloyingness here. You do got some dry woods, some musk and ambrette. This is pretty good. I'm enjoying this one. And next we got this one here. Scent of the day, Yam and Lael. Taleb. Am I saying it right? I never explored anything from Yam and Lael yet. I've been meaning to, I just never pulled the trigger. But here's what we're going to check out Sunscape by Gallagher Fragrance. I hear good things about this one too, and it's kind of a hidden gem. So I want to see what this one has to offer. If it's as good as Pineapple, I'll probably add this one as well. But from what I gather here, it's got one of my favorite fruits to eat during the summer, which is honeydew. That's one of my favorite fruits, especially during the summer. So let's get a couple sprays. Go on this arm. Let that marinate, settle down. Mmm. Okay. That is different. It's got something unique here. A different type of hmm. This is different. I get bergamot and violet immediately, but something else here. Something I never smelled in fragrance before. I think my neighbor actually uh, grew these last year summer. Let me see if I can think of the name. Blue bonnet blossoms. It's got a unique fragrant aroma. That is what I'm getting here. Wow, this is different. I do pick up the honeydew. This is pretty good. This is another good one. That's what I like about Gallagher Fragrance. He does things that is different that most people don't work with. You know how you see all these new designer releases and some other niche fragrances that they might have similarities with similar notes, whether it's woods, citrus, and that kind of stuff. And then you got another fragrance house, Gallagher Fragrance. Some people heard of them, some people haven't, but they do unique stuff. They use notes that most people don't work with. And this is one of them. I don't know too many who use honeydew or bluebonnet blossoms for that matter, or even tulip in a fragrance. I like this. I like this one. This is good. This is definitely good. I definitely find this one completely unisex, men and women. Another phenomenal summertime scent. However, pineapple I like more than some Sunscape. This is the winning ticket. So, how many of you guys in this fragrance on my live stream familiar with Gallagher Fragrance? And what's that? How to last perfumes longer on a sunny day. It's kind of weird question. How to make fragrance last longer? Vaseline on your skin with no scent, unscented lotion before spraying your perfume. Some people use Vaseline. They'll put it on their pulse points, like inner wrist, their inner elbow, or sometimes on their neck or on their chest. I use lotion, unscented lotion when I wake up in the morning. I do my skincare regimen, drink enough water, and I'm good. And then I put on some unscented lotion, and my fragrance does last longer. Hmm. Sunscape. This is a unique summer fragrance. I could see this being daily wear. With the blue bonnet blossoms here, it does slightly lean on the feminine side. It's not bad, but it is unisex. It's probably my least favorite, but I definitely like the uniqueness here. It's different than anything else that I've put my nose to. So I believe my mom is a fan of this because I gave her some stuff, couple of new fragrances from Mother's Day and some free samples. And out of them all, she did like Sunscape. She enjoyed Midnight Jasmine by um, Gallagher Fragrance. I have no idea what Marwa is. Never got my nose on it. Um, Middle Easterns, if it's a Middle Eastern, I'm assuming. I haven't checked it out. I'm not too crazy for all Middle Easterns. I think the only last Middle Eastern fragrance I got my nose on was one of Aromatic's fragrance, which was Forbidden Fruit, which is definitely in that vein of Sangria by Lorenzo and Sunkissed by Aromatics. Those were the only 2 newest Middle Easterns I added to my wardrobe. Other than that, I would take, Imagination over that any day. Um, I don't overspray any of my Louis Vuitton fragrances. I'm quite lucky, I get some pretty decent performance out of mine. But I know my mod here, Joel, is more familiar with those. I never checked them out. I actually go nose blind to Imagination, and I was assuming it doesn't last, and actually it does. I think I wore it a couple weeks ago, and I had places to be, and this whole time I thought it was weak. It's not. It performs. And silly me, I sprayed the front of my neck like an idiot, and I went nose blind. And I was thinking, "Man, this is a waste." It's not. It lasts. So I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people were asking what I was wearing, and I think I sprayed about 6 on my neck, once on my chest and my forearms, so about 8 sprays. And I got a solid 10 hours from Imagination. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna get that kind of reaction, 'cause, some people say skin chemistry doesn't really play in a part of fragrance, but it does. You know, depending on your skin, if you got big pores, a lot of facial, body hair, that can really eat up a fragrance. Or if you're got it like a skin contraindication, that can cause some skin issues. But I really don't, you know, some of my cologne lasts, some don't. It all depends, but I'm lucky. I get 10 hours with Imagination, and I can't complain about that. So, is it worth 300 some dollars? There's yes and no. Ones who are really fans of Louis Vuitton, they're gonna spend the money, and ones who are kinda on the fence, the best way to really check it out is, find a decant and go that route. 'Cause, I think, only one other clone or dupe I came across that is pretty close to imagination is Kevin at Sensual Obsessions, State of Mind. I've been hearing he has the best dupe when it comes to a Louis Vuitton imagination. You Hey, what's up, Kara? Oud concentrated perfumes? Yeah, they're very still noticeable. What is the best fragrance you smelled that smells like imagination? Oh, alcohol free? I don't know. I haven't came across anything that is alcohol free. I own a few from Sensual Obsessions, and I heard from a few people who do own State of Mind, and according to them, it's by far the best um LV imagination dupe out there. And I believe his oil concentrations are 33%. And I own 4 by Kevin. And yeah, there isn't too many out there with a straight up imagination DNA. The only other difference is buy the real stuff because that's the best route to go, but I really don't expect anybody in my audience to spend 300 some dollars. So with that being said, which one was that, Kira? I think, my favorite fragrance from Sensual Obsessions is his original, is cherry smoked bourbon. And I've worn it quite a bit, and I have a hard time liking cherry, you know? But when I got my nose on French Defense, that just changed it. But cherry smoked bourbon by Sensual Obsessions. Another friend talked about this one, told me to check it out, Jason Sherrill. He got me hip to this one, and I have to agree, this is probably the second best smoky cherry whiskey kind of fragrance I got my nose on. Yeah, I own Aqua Dubai. And I I think I worn it not too long ago, but I'm not crazy about it. Is it like exactly on point with imagination? No. Too soapy, you know. I give a lot of credit to some of these people who clone fragrances. Some are spot on, some are dead on. But Amber Oud Aqua Dubai is not even close. I'd say maybe 60% in that vein. The only one I really came across that is really dead on is Luciano Coastal Breeze. That is a dead giveaway to Pacific Chill. That was the only one I've actually can say that is like 90% in that 90% bracket for being that close. Sadly, Luciano Coastal Breeze doesn't last for crap. And for me to get it lasting long on my skin, I gotta go between 10 to 15 sprays. And the bottle is half empty already. I wore it the other day, and with dupes, that's fine. Especially freshies, you can spray heavy without having that worry of cloyingness. But, you know, it was an original that Kevin made. I think it was Florida Vacation or something. Oh, I never got my nose on that one. The ones I would like to grab is Fresh Fade and what's the other one? Purple Rain by Obsession. And it is safe for me to say I do have a personal fragrance coming soon. Whenever it's done, I'll get my notification, and I am looking forward to that. I've always wanted my own personal fragrance, and it's currently being developed. And it's catered around my own unique scent profile that I came up with. I came up with my own formula, the percentages for each note. So I'm looking forward to having my fragrance in my hands soon. I can't wait for that because I know I'm going to enjoy it. And I might come out with another one sometime in August. I got some things brewing up in my head. It's about time I had my own personal fragrance. And I got my own unique name picked out and everything else. So I only showed a couple people my scent profile on Instagram, and they know I came up with some fire. So I can't wait till my fragrance is out. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I finally decided to say, you know what? It's time for me to have my own personal fragrance. So, what is that? You don't buy clones anymore unless it's a imagination dupe. Hmm. Yeah. Um. The only other fragrances that are kind of cheap, affordable, was that Ahmed Al Maghribi. I only bought that based off what Ross said on his or on his channel. Yes, from Central Obsession. Yeah, I've been wanting that. I came up with my own scent profile a year ago, and over time I was tweaking it. And also, another guy I'm personal friends with who's out in Louisiana who has his own brand. He makes his own fragrance. And on top of it, I don't know how he does it. He works on an oil rig in Louisiana and he makes his own cologne. He started making his own cologne because he got sick and tired of buying fragrances that just don't last. So one day he created his own fragrance. It caught attention, so he opened up shop. And I'm talking about a good friend of mine named Jerry and Clayton. Shout out to you, Native Parfums. He does amazing stuff, and his stuff actually does last. And he taught me everything on how to make your own cologne. I was going to start doing my own thing, and I know exactly what to do. I just don't have the time. I don't have the luxury time to do that right now. But so I decided to say, you know what? Maybe I'll just have Sensual Obsession make my own personal fragrance the way I want it done. And yeah, so I can't wait for that to be available, and when it's in my hand, it's definitely different, and it definitely doesn't have any similarities to anything that is out there currently. So, I'm looking forward to that, and so it was time for me to have my own personal fragrance, you know, and pretty much the background story to that is, from where I started my fragrance journey to where I am today and how I evolved, and I enjoy what I do. So I'm looking, I definitely added some interesting notes at the top, in the heart, and in the base. So I love plum. So in the opening, it's got plum, it's got some green tea in it, and some of my favorite notes is definitely green tea, plum, um, I would say dark cherry, frankincense. I love that churchy incense kind of stuff. That's why I love Zaharoff so much, and Amouage. Amouage is known for that. Zaharoff, I love them churchy, heavy, smoky incense kind of scents. Those are my favorite notes. And fig is another note that I enjoy too. Tobacco, not so much vanilla unless it's blended with like tobacco and things like that. And it's another favorite note. Rhubarb. I like rhubarb in fragrance as well. Mancera, Fig Me Up. That's got fig milk, fig leaves, and it's got that beautiful rhubarb in the opening, a green rhubarb. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of notes, but top three, if I was to say top three favorite notes, that would be cherry and fig and plum. Those would be my top three favorite notes, especially in the summer. So, yeah. What are your some of your favorite notes besides coconut? Because I know you love coconut. So, all right. Zaharoff, Coco Loco. It's pretty good. I was not expecting I was expecting here. This is great for the summertime. Eventually, I'll add this one to my wardrobe. I like this. This is pretty good. What I like about Coco Loco, it's like you get the fleshy part of the coconut here and that juicy red clementine in the opening. It just hits different. Very juicy. But overall, this is good. Far as rating, just on first impressions, I'd give this a solid 7.9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Yeah, I did tried it. Yeah. I bought a couple samples off George, off his website, and I got citrine, but Imma save that for another time. Um, that reminds me, I gotta reach out back to him the first week of June and talk to him about some things. I've been talking to him on Facebook Messenger, and he told me to reach back out to him the first week of June, so I gotta remember that. Um, he's also sending me some free posters that I can hang up in the background. Hey, I'm being fair. I'm being honest. 7.9 out of 10. I think that's decent on first impressions. I'm certain a rating will change. It's only first impressions. And that's usually how I am when I get my nose on new stuff. And after I spend a few days to a week with it, then yeah, I give a final rating. I'm different. So I'll tell you what I really like though. What I really like is Pineapple by Gallagher Fragrance. This one hits different. And it's been about what, maybe 30 minutes now, and I'm still getting this pineapple. Fresh, like baked green apple, magnolia, and some jasmine and dry woods. But this pineapple is good here. It's has some really good staying power. And this is not synthetic either. This is definitely like going to your local fresh market, summer market, and buying some fresh pineapple that you take home, peel, cut through it. Instant pineapple, photorealistic. And it's just sitting there screaming. I like this. And see, coconut is just coconut's really hard for me to get into. That's another one I have a hard time with. I guess the best way I can put it, I have a love-hate relationship with vanilla and coconut. Now, coconut and Coca Local, it's good. There's no doubt about it. It's good, but Imma have to spend a little more time with it, you know, and really, you know, give it some time. It's good, but as of right now, I've s just, I have a hard time liking coconut, unfortunately. I like eating coconut. I like having coconut water, but in a fragrance, because there's other notes in there. And sometimes with certain scent profiles, it's like, Valentino, that purple melancholia on paper, it was horrible to me. On skin, oh God, I couldn't wait to get home to wash it off. I did not like that. I know a lot of people like that one, but I did not enjoy that one. I thought it was the worst release they ever decided to do, which is hard, which is really hard. Valentino normally puts out some decent designer fragrances. I think the last one that I thought was decent was that Yellow Dream, that Green Extravaganza, and that Born in Roma Choral Fantasy for men. That's good. But Purple Melancholia, or however you pronounce the name, I couldn't wear it. It's not for me. I just did not enjoy it. And yeah, that one, Simon Andronelli, Malibu in the Bay, and Junglescape, they got some phenomenal stuff with coconut and Caracal Bay. I was lucky enough to get some decants that, you know, got dropped off yesterday by a personal friend who owns that one by Simon, Malibu in the Bay, Junglescape, and Caracal Bay by Jacques Foth. Those are coconut done right, especially Malibu Party in the Bay. Now that is something I can enjoy. It's gotta like, for me to like coconut, it's gotta have rum, some kind of booziness into it for me to really get into it. But Coco Local, I do like this one. It's not bad. And, other than that, um, I got some new equipment coming in soon. I think, maybe next week or this coming week. I got some new studio lighting coming in. So I ordered some new stuff for my channel. I'm waiting for my Zaharoff posters to come in. And I got some other stuff for my background. But most importantly, I bought some good studio lighting so I can really get more lighting in the background. So I didn't really buy too much cologne this month because one, I bought a desk, two, I bought a really comfortable gamer chair and my new display case. Now, I still have my bookshelf case off to the side, and I put all my least favorite clones on the bookshelf case that I don't really wear. And some other designers I don't really reach for anymore either, and I kept all the good stuff over here. So I still have plenty of room for more stuff, but I'm just enjoying what I got on the way. I should have some other fragrances soon, but as of today, I am really enjoying Michael Malal Modern Poet. This is very unique, and that's the other note I like. I'm a huge fan for tea fragrance. Green matcha, whether it's that resin mate, that can sometimes give a nice tea aroma. Black tea. I like tea scents. They're very great for the summer, especially around where I live in Ohio, and we get crazy humidity. And today was one of those days where I was like, you know what? This is new. It just came in. I'm spraying it on. And man, it's got a beautiful scent trail. In about 2 weeks, you're receiving a bonus for, oh, nice. Congrats, Joel. Yeah, I had to get a new desk. I needed a new chair. I got sick of sitting on, like one of those picnic metal chairs. I was like, that's it. So I reached out to my good friend, Grim G. I texted him. I asked him where he got a gamer chair. So I started Googling it up. I had to get a new chair. And I needed a new table and I needed some new studio lighting. So that was more important, buying stuff for my channel. Oh, hello, Vinny. What? Reflection House? Never, I don't know. Never heard of it. Queensbear? Not familiar. I have no idea. Maybe Joel is familiar with Reflection House? I have no idea what that is. So, and what's the other thing? Hmm. I uh I got a bunch of content I got to put out with all my newer fragrances that came in that I really haven't talked about much. But I got to get this guy back in the rotation. I forgot I even had this fragrance. And this is another one good for the summertime. Ah, shit. Whoops. Small indie house in the USA. I already have so much that I'll never finish in your lifetime. Them by Regalian. Yeah, I've been meaning to get around. Oh, Oud Lemon Mint. Great. Yeah. Oud Lemon Mint by Mancera's pretty good. It's got a little bit of almond in there, but it's decent. I don't have that one. I coulda got it, but I didn't want to. Yeah, I have no idea who Reflection is. Reflection House. If I remember, I'll look it up after my live stream and check it out. A small indie niche house that I'm really familiar with is Gallagher Fragrance. They're in the United States and day 3, but I'll, uh, I'll check that one out. I'll tell you a brand that I'm not really crazy for. Fugazi. I'm not a huge fan of that. The only 2 fragrances from Fugazi that I did like is that passion fruit passion fruit, and I think that one with mango and no cologne. Other than that, I think all the other releases are just not for me. A good aquatic with a touch of tea. Boys 1920. Yeah, that's another brand I would like to check out sometime. Um, that reminds me. Um, I gotta get. I plan on pulling the trigger on Unique Luxury Burrell. I have a few samples of it. I'm starting to run out, and that is something I'm gonna be adding to my wardrobe back there. And I'm looking forward to Zaharoff's new release coming in June. I think the first week. So I'm looking forward to that. That is currently on at my attention. They're the only 2 that I am looking forward to. And I might also maybe get a couple decants of some things, but I haven't explored anything from Boys 1920. I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to check out some stuff from, well, I like Burrell, I think it's pronounced, but I have a little more of a personal connection with that one. I don't really wanna talk about that part of the connection, but Burrell is like a citrus floral forward fragrance, and I it has such lasting staying power on my skin, and it's different than a lot of things I have in my personal collection. One of the things I find interesting is it's kinda got a honeyed nuance in that fragrance, and man, does it last. And it doesn't get cloying, but it's such a beautiful fragrance. And that one is a must-have for me. Oh, you got Tuxedo finally. Wow. It's your Mount Rushmore. Nice. Yeah, Tuxedo and Baby Cat, I would like to add to my collection sometime. Here's one I haven't really worn much. Um, I found another website that is actually cheaper, that is in New York. And I have a discount code they gave me that I'm going to use. And I've ordered from them many times. Actually, my buddy, Grimlock, shout out to Grimlock. He got me hip to another fragrance place out in New York that isn't too far from where he lives. And they always have sales, and a lot of their discount codes never expire, but I got a discount code to use where I literally get about 45% off. And I'm definitely gonna get barrel from them. Uh, Probably not. But unfortunately, someone posted a video about that up on Instagram. So it's, yeah, I know. I seen it. I seen somebody post a video about that on Instagram, and I didn't even I didn't think anybody was supposed to do that either. I think somebody in Italy was talking about it, and it kinda just, like, got leaked out there. But, yeah, I shoulda not opened my mouth. So that's my fault. But I'm looking forward to that. I think I seen that one, Instagram, couple weeks ago. I think somebody up in Italy couldn't really understand what he was saying, but he was talking about it. And I think he sprayed it on a test strip paper or whatever. And I think he wasn't supposed to talk about it, but he did. So that, I don't know. I I like them old man smelling fragrances though. I find them special. I find them unique. But yeah, so never mind that. I should have not said that on my live stream about his new release. That slipped, so my apologies. But what I've been meaning to say, I only own one Bond number 9 fragrance, and I forgot I had this. And I think I've had it for maybe 2 years now, and I gotta say, I don't know if you guys are a fan of raspberry, but it's on the tart side, but has this, like, eco chic tropical vibe. This one is quite different. This is the, Scent of Peace Natural, and I forgot I had it. It's kinda green, fresh, refreshing, very clean, with a little tropical raspberry tart vibe to it. The thing I like about Bond number 9 is their bottles. They're funky looking. Yeah, I can imagine. I would be pissed. I would be kinda pissed with that. Honestly, I would. I would be pissed too. Yeah, I can imagine, and I don't blame them. So you know what? Forgive me that I even opened my mouth. That was fucking stupid of me. Because, I can put myself in my shoes and how Ross is and how George is, I would be fucking heated to where I would, you know, I'm not gonna say what I would do to someone because but I would get to that point. That's kinda like a situation with, not to get off topic, I had a friend who opened his mouth about something, and I told him not to, and he said it to the wrong kind of people. Needless to say, I ended up, uh, let's just say I ended up in handcuffs, and I put him in a hospital. Uh, I might have to go through my live and cut out the part where I said it, upload it on, well, if people are already watching my channel, I'm certain they already heard me say it. So it might be too late for that. What I might have to do is just probably download it, go into my video editor and cut that part out where I said it and upload my live. But considering anybody can just pop right in here and they probably already heard me said what I said because I'm what? There's 7 people in here probably. Some are probably listening. Or what I might do is just, you know, maybe I'll reach out to George myself, be like, "Hey, I kinda slipped on my live stream." You know, sometimes that's better, be a man about something. That's kinda like, you know, I sometimes get DMs from people on Instagram. They see me wearing certain T-shirts, certain support hats and support stuff. And I got a comment, I think just the other day, "Man, you ain't supposed to do content and wear that kinda stuff." There's a difference, you know. You know, I support a motorcycle club. That is my business, nobody else's. And if it was a problem, I would already just not wear my stuff. But it's a support hat, it's a support shirt. There's no crossing the line or no rule about it. So it'd be different if it's, you know, other stuff, then yeah, I wouldn't, you know, wear other specific clothing on the live stream because that would get your ass kicked. And that's just, you know, there's do's and don'ts. A support hat is different. Yeah, pretty much. But so what did anybody else get into this entire week besides smell and fragrance? How's the weather by anybody else? It's like 87 degrees out by me. It's crazy hot. I did not expect the weather to be this hot because yesterday it was low 60s. I was hoping it would have been low 60s. And today, high 87 degrees. And it actually feels hotter than that. It was kind of muggy. So I said, you know what? I got this one in from Michael Malone. Why not wear something that's, you know, fresh, citrus, and refreshing? Staycation soon? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta get up bright and early in the morning tomorrow. I can't really stay up late at all. I gotta be up by 5 in the morning, so I don't stay up late like I used to. So yeah. And I think it's been what, an hour? So one thing I am looking forward to is pleasure over business. I can't wait until that's in my hand. So I think that one will be awesome. And oh, the funny thing, now that I'm on this subject with Sahara fragrance, uh, for the longest time, I thought Zaharoff's signature Royale was discontinued. From what I gather is I think that fragrance tends to sell out quite a bit, and maybe that's why I got the impression it was discontinued. I know the soap was. I bought a I bought my signature Royale off Saunderscent, and it came with the soap. The soap was really nice, but I went on Zaharoff the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, it's actually in stock, and it's not discontinued." Hmm. For the longest time, I thought it was discontinued. And maybe it's because when I kept going on his website looking at other fragrances that I didn't really check out, it was out of stock. So I think a lot of people tend to buy that one too. Some people go for it, some people don't. Signature Royale is actually a really nice scent. And well, yeah. Yeah, I'm up in Ohio. Um I'm on the outskirts of Cleveland, Ohio. I'm about 20 minutes away from East Cleveland, Ohio. And yeah, it's quite hot out. And I think tomorrow's going to be hot and muggy too. Then it'll be in the low 60s, and then it'll be back up in the high 80s. See, I don't mind if it's like, upper 60s, mid 70s, but when it's getting close to 90, I cannot do that kind of weather. I hate it. Oh yeah, you in Youngstown, so yeah, it, you know, and I know there's some bad weather coming our way sometime this week. I think by Thursday, damaging winds, high winds, possible tornadoes, and all that fun shit again in Ohio. In my book, Memorial Day weekend was, yeah, I always thought Memorial Day weekend is the beginning of summer in Ohio for us. I've always thought that too. So, yeah. I mean, perfect. I sometimes like to go golfing when it's warm out, and if it's too hot out, I cannot go in that kind of weather. And it's actually kind of bad for me because I have this issue with my blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure, but I have this specific form of low blood pressure, and it's called orthostatic hypotension. And I actually got to walk with a cane, which sucks. But I could be um well hydrated. I actually just started medication for this issue that I have, and I think it takes a couple months to finally be in my system. But there's some days when it's too hot out, I'm severely dizzy to where I can't even walk. I can't do shit. Oh, you're in Tennessee. Yeah, you're not that far from me. So, yeah, I wouldn't even wish this kind of issue that I have on my worst enemy. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. How I ended up learning that I had this issue was I was jogging. I used to jog. I used to jog laps around my street and around this area, and I got really dizzy and I fell down. That's how I learned I had this issue. And I had to have this procedure, medical procedure done called a tilt table test. You're kind of like on a bed, like, you're strapped down to like a bed, like you're in death row. And they strap your arms out like this, and they have um a blood pressure monitor here, and then they hook you up to a heart monitor, and they move you up and down, side to side for 4 hours. I did not enjoy that one bit, and they gave me this medication to speed up my heart because they wanted to make sure the issues I had wasn't from my heart either, and sure enough, what I have is, considered POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and I also and it's kinda on the mild side, it's not severe. So, yeah, I had no idea, and, unfortunately, that's what I have. So, yeah, I kinda have this crazy heart condition, and I have this weird irreversible low blood pressure issue, and it sucks. I fricking hate it. So, certain temperatures, if it's too hot out, I stay inside. I don't even go out. And another thing, if I don't get enough sleep each night, it can also aggravate my symptoms and make it worse. Can you not run at all? Nah. Now that I'm on medication, I think it'll take a couple months to finally be in my system. But I do notice a difference, the dizziness and lightheadedness. It's not as bad as it was used to be. So now I'm fine. Hey, what's up, Diego? Bleu de Chanel parfum, good choice. Green Irish tweed, nice choice. So, um, I actually went since I've been on the medication, um, I actually went skateboarding. I was goofing around on my skateboard, so I didn't get dizzy. So that's a good thing. So I gotta have my medication at all times. And I plan getting back to bowling as well. I miss bowling. I got some new bowling balls I got to get drilled, and I'm joining a bowling league this fall. So actually quite like it. Not bad at all. Nice. The only newest creed I got is I took advantage of it when Old Factory LLC had it on sale. Was finally Creed Aventus. I don't know if I can get that focused, but yeah, I finally got this bad boy. And I gotta say, and out of all these damn dupes that I have, they don't even come really that close to this DNA, except one in particular. And that would be that off-non supremacy silver in the dry down. And with the dry down from this, it actually gets kind of similar. So I'm happy to have this one. And I gotta say, this one here, I get some pretty good performance too for being natural. So that was my fifth creed. That was the only other fragrance I got this month. 3. Huh. You refrain from wearing that one since it's your dad's signature scent? Wow. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. My dad, I caught him getting into some of my cologne, and eventually I just bought him a full bottle. So now he has his own full bottle. But he likes Absolute Aventus, so I got him a bottle of that. Oh, I guess. Yeah, he got me into a couple old school fragrances from back in the day, from Caswell Massey, Jockey Club, and what's his name? The president, JFK, actually wore that fragrance. So he got me a bottle for Christmas, and I wore it. And he has like I think 4 bottles tucked away, and I still have some of my old bottles, but those ones they don't last long. But regardless, they got them old school barbershop feel to them. They're pretty good, and I like the, Greenbrier by Caswell Massey. It's basically almost like Green Irish Tweed by Creed, but with a more old barbershop vibe to it. Yeah, I hear you. Um, lately, I just been reaching for fragrances with tea notes in them for, the summer. It's what I've been reaching for lately. So, yeah. Yeah, I hear those ones are pretty good. I'm not too crazy. It's hard. I don't know. I'm just not crazy for Chanel anymore. I think their way of, like my buddy said, they have a one way creation formulation. I think they're kind of boring. I think, they don't bring enough to the table for me to like Chanel anymore. Roja thing last few months. I have found out they are making a King of Fougere in cheap and old school profiles. Huh. Oh yeah, Jacquard Noir. Can't go wrong with that classic. Speaking of that, here's a couple things I can talk about that heard is is what is it? There's another frag head I occasionally hear from who constantly blows me up on Instagram. I get about maybe 100 to 200 DMs from this kid, and it's ridiculous. And I can only maybe talk to him for a couple of minutes. And he texted me, he's like, "Hey, did you know Jacquard Noir is very similar to Dior Sauvage Elixir?" And I didn't even comment. I didn't even really respond to that. I just kind of set my phone down, walked away, and I just started laughing. And I'm like, who is telling this poor kid this crap? Some kids hated. Some kids I hated wore Jacquard in junior high. I love Jacquard Noir. I just don't care what anybody says. That is like a manly man's fragrance. Like my dad always said, hopefully none of you guys take offense to it, but my dad has no filter. He tells it like it is. And he said, he was like, what did he say? He said, the only way you can really smell like a man is you got to wear a fragrance that puts some hair on your chest, and you got to have balls and not be a pussy. He's like, Jacquard Noir is for men. It's not for pussies. I'm like, Dad, you can't be like that. You're gonna have people who like what they like, and it's something you might not like, and there's gonna be people who don't like it and won't wear it. And sadly, he's just the way he is. He's built different. He's like his mom and dad. They were very strict, and they always have like this they have their own like persona. And my dad, he was just a man, like he would tell it like it is. He had no filter. He'd just walk up to someone like, "You're wearing bullshit. You're not a man, you're a pussy. Wear some real shit." And I just can't do that to people. I do have my dislikes to. For example, Yves Saint Laurent. I'm not a fan of the Y line much at all. Just not my thing. You know, the only Y flanker I like is YO Fresh. I thought Y Iced Cologne was pretty decent. It's nice. I eventually wanted to get that new flanker sometime this year. But other than that, I'm not huge in the Yves Saint Laurent other than their private line like Tuxedo and Baby Cat and some of their newer higher end releases that are expensive, but like their Y line, I don't really care for it. And I think the only other fragrance that I like from Yves Saint Laurent was L'Homme Le Parfum. That's about it. But other than that, even some of the Rabanne flankers from the 1 million line, I can't really get into them anymore. Maybe it's my nose. Maybe it's my nose palette. I just outgrew certain scent profiles. And I feel like, 1 million parfum is just too juvenile. I'm just not crazy for it anymore. A million gold was pretty decent. A million gold elixir, that's decent. But that night road, I actually did get my nose on it at Dillard's. They had it by me. I checked it out. I didn't like it. It's a no for me. I'm a pass on that one. Night Road, that newest release, it's a no-go. It's just overly sweet. I didn't like it. So, Apex Parfum by Roja, that's a good one. Yeah, that's what it is. We evolve. We move on from stuff we used to like and get into better stuff. Yeah, you know, and I don't know. I ended up selling a couple other Latafas today. I got rid of Latafa Assad finally. I sold it for 20 bucks. And I got rid of that um what's the other one sitting over there? I got rid of my Dua fragrances. They're dupes. I got rid of those today. I just don't need them now that I have Creed Aventus. So I got rid of those. So that's kind of like what I've been doing. Any originals I get my hands on, I just get rid of the dupes and I sell them. I just don't want to keep them. And I only kept a couple. I think I kept maybe 20 dupes that smell good that I'll use for like comparisons for other fragrances, but I don't really wear them, and I'm getting to the point where I just wanna get rid of them. I'm familiar with the DNA. I'm familiar with them scent profiles. So why keep them if you're not going to wear them? It's just taking up space on your shelf. Yeah. This month I didn't really spend. I didn't really buy much cologne at all. Uh, I didn't really buy anything other than my chair that I'm sitting on, my new table, and display case. So there was a few $100 right there. And the only other fragrance I got was, well, I'm currently waiting for, uh, yeah, it signifies something. My cap is not something you could really buy in a store. This is a motorcycle club support hat. And these letters that they're using, it's abbreviated FAFO, fuck around, find out. And those are like throwing axes. So it's a motorcycle club support hat. You're not going to find that in sports clothing stores other than their actual website. But I'm not going to put that in my chat. So, yeah. But this hat, I guess the best way I can put it, Google what 81 support means and you'll learn real quick. That's the best polite way I can put it. But I might hmm, it's been about almost what, an hour and a half. I'm probably going to shut it down, go enjoy the rest of my evening, and yeah. So I appreciate everybody who did tune in. Thank you for showing up. Enjoy your evening, everybody, but I'ma shut it down. Stay fresh, God bless, and smell your best out there.